Today I want to share with you a technique that I've been working on for a little while called tapping. Sometimes it's called two-handed tapping, and it's something I got into a few years ago. Actually bought one of these books, which I think you can still buy today, and I want to work through one of the pieces today. It's right at the very end, and it's called Crystal Well. So I'll play through it once, and then after the playthrough session I'll actually go through it bar by bar. It's only 9 bars, but it's got some cool techniques and it's a pretty song. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, let's take a look at this song now. Before we get into it, we need to look at a couple of techniques that are going to be used in the song. In the first bar of the song, it actually uses a technique called harmonics. So to play harmonics, very lightly put your finger on top of the string. Don't push it down like usual. Just let it rest as lightly as you can. I use my little finger a lot to do this. And you put it right on top of the fret, not on top, not between the frets like we would normally play. So the way this song is going to start is we're going to hit the open E string, let it ring, and then we're going to hit on the 5th fret, right on top of the fret itself, on the A, the D, and the G. We're going to hit those harmonics, and then the same thing on the 4th fret, except we're going to hit the G, the D, and instead of hitting the 4th fret on the A, we're going to hit the 3rd fret. You're going to get that kind of weird sound. Now, it's a lot harder to make the 3rd fret ring than the other ones, so it'll be like... It takes a little bit of practice to get all of those harmonics to ring, and as I say, some of them are harder than others. Now, the second part of the second bar of the song is where we get into the actual tapping. So to tap a note on a bass, you've got to use both hands, put your thumb behind the neck as usual, and then just push down in the usual position on the strings. But notice I'm not doing anything with my right hand. Now it takes a little bit of practice, and it's going to take a little bit of hand strength, but work at it and you'll get it. It's really not that tricky. What's hard is to make all the notes ring nice and evenly when you're playing a bunch of them. Now with your right hand, put your thumb on top of the neck, and it's going to slide along the top of the neck here, and then just push down the notes. It takes a little bit of finger strength, and it takes an element of precision as well to actually hit all of the right notes. And again, I'm just hitting them in the usual places just between the frets. Okay? So the second bar of this song, after you do those introductory harmonics, we come up here with our left hand using our middle finger, and we hit the 10th fret on the A string. Then the 9th fret, using my first finger now, the 9th fret on the D string, and then with my right hand putting my thumb on top of the neck and using my middle finger, I'm going to hit the 11th fret on the G, and then play the 9th position again and the 10th position. So all up, and let all of those notes ring like a chord. The second half of the bar, you're going to have to move both hands and use your first finger on the 12th fret of the E string, okay, and then on your right hand, putting your thumb on top of the neck, hit the 14th and the 16th frets. Okay, and I'm using my ring finger to hit that 16th fret, and then hit the 12th fret on the G string. So get all 4 notes to ring like that. So that second bar is going to sound like this. Okay? And you can let that bar just ring out for a bit until you get ready to play the next bar. Now the third bar is probably the most difficult bar in the whole song. So for this one, it's going to be similar to the second bar, but not quite the same. What we're going to do is come down again, starting with on the first beat of the third bar. We're going to hit that 12th fret on the E string. Then we're going to hit the 14th fret with your right hand on the A string, the 16th fret on the D string. Okay, and then I'm going to use my little finger to hit the 14th fret on the G string, so that's a little bit different. Okay, that's the first 4 notes. Then back on the 16th fret, and then I'm going to use probably, I think, my middle finger to hit the 13th fret, which is a little bit unusual on the D string. Okay, so that one right there. And then my first finger on the G string on the 12th fret. And then using my right hand, I'm going to hit the 14th fret on the D string, the 14th fret on the A string, and then I think I'll use my first finger to hit the 12th fret on the, that'll be the A string, and to finish off 3 more notes. Using my right hand, I'm going to hit the 15th fret on the E string, the 14th fret on the E string, and then I might use my first finger to hit the 12th fret on the E string. Okay, so that's a lot to remember, and this is the one to really practice this bar. So it's going to sound a little bit like. Okay, and that all has to fit in a bar. Okay, once you get through the third bar, the rest of the song is a little bit easier. So the pattern we're going to play for the next few bars is first finger on the E at the 12th fret. Then with your right hand, we're going to play the 14th fret on the A string, the 16th fret on the D string, and we're going to play the 12th fret. I'm using my little finger, but you could use your ring finger on the G, and then play those notes backwards. So 12, 14, 16, 12, 16, 14, and you get the idea. Practice that, and then just simply move your first finger with each riff. Down 1 fret. Okay, so I went down playing this, my right hand was doing the same thing, and my little finger and ring finger were kind of alternating a bit on this 12th fret. My first finger was the only one that was moving, and I went the 12th fret, the 11th fret, the 10th fret, the 9th fret, all the way down to the 8th fret, so it was getting a pretty big stretch by that stage. And then on the last one, what we're going to do is we're going to come back straight from the 8th fret back to the 10th fret, and we're going to play. Alright, only one note different. 10, 14, 16, 12, 16, but instead of playing 14 again, I play the 12th fret, so this one here on the D string, and this kind of sets up, it's a lead-in note to the next part of the song. So practice going. Then the different bar. Now we're going to do a completely new series of riffs for really the last third of the song. You're going to move your left hand right down here, and we're going to just hammer down on the 3rd and the 5th fret. So 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A string, not doing anything with this hand, and then with these 2 fingers, your middle finger and your first finger, putting your thumb on top of the neck down here, you want to hit the 16th fret and play that pattern. So I'm hitting the 16th fret on the D string, the G string, the D string, the G string, and the D. So the pattern goes like. Okay, then take that same pattern, move your left hand up 2 frets. So now I'm on the 5 and the 7, and with this hand, move it up just 1 fret to the 17th fret. Okay. Now for the next bar, just play the 6th fret by itself. You can use your first finger on the E string. And this hand's going to have to make a little bit of a change, and we're going to come to the 14th and the 16th frets on the D and the G. Okay, so it's the same sort of timing. 14 on the D, 16 on the G, 14 on the D, 16 on the G, 14. Okay, and then move this hand up, your left hand, to the 7th fret. And your right hand, this is one of the more tricky moves, we're going to play the 14th and the 20th fret. And I'm using my little finger to hit that 20th fret. So all up. Okay, that's the pattern. And then the last 2 bars of the song, we're going to hit an open E string, very much like the introduction. 10, 9, 11, back to the 9, 10. You can hit an open string, or you can hit the 12th fret here. So an open E string, 14, 16, 12 on the G with my left hand. So the 14 and 16 were on the A string, the 16 was on the D string, and the 12 was on the G with my left hand. Back to the 16, back to the 14, and then we're going to finish right off, if you can find it, right up here on the 20th fret, and you could use maybe your left hand. So that last bar is going to sound a little bit like so. Have fun with this. It's a lot to remember, but it's actually not that hard. There's like some special bars. The first, the second, the third bar are a bit unusual, and the last bar is unusual. But the stuff in the middle, this sort of, you'll get that quite easily. So stick at it, have fun with it. It's a great technique, and if you want to learn more about it, let's talk about it at a lesson. See you next time.